The NFL draft may be months away, but that hasn't stopped the floodgates from opening when it comes to way too early mock drafts. Fans and analysts across the country are already buzzing about what the 2026 draft class could look like, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. And for Steelers fans, the conversation is heating up with speculation over which young signal caller could be the future face of the franchise. Right here on Steelers Talk, we're diving into the most popular quarterback projections tied to Pittsburgh in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. Some names are familiar, some are rising stars, and others are still flying under the radar. But what they all have in common is that they've been linked to the black and gold in early mocks. So let's talk about it. Kicking things off with one of the more respected names in the draft analyst world, Dane Brugler from The Athletic has the Steelers going with Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU at pick number 16. Now, for those of you who haven't kept a close eye on Nussmeier, this kid has some serious football IQ. LSU has been using those Cognalis VR headsets to help their quarterbacks see the field better and react faster, and Nussmeier has clearly benefited. His anticipation is one of the best in the class. He's reading defenses before the snap, throwing into tight windows, and generally showing off a mature, cerebral game that coaches love. But here's the thing. While Nussmeier checks a lot of boxes in terms of polish and decision-making, there are questions about his overall ceiling. He's a bit older than your typical prospect, and physically, he doesn't have the same jaw-dropping traits that some of the other quarterbacks in this class bring to the table. If the Steelers are looking for a long-term developmental guy with high upside, Nussmeier might not be the flashiest pick. He feels more like a safe selection rather than a swing for the fences type of quarterback. Moving on to another interesting projection. Josh Edwards from CBS Sports sees Pittsburgh selecting Nico Iamaleava, the towering quarterback who recently transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. And let's be honest, that image of him in the Bruins uniform is something else. A fresh start. On the West Coast for one of the most intriguing physical specimens in college football. A year ago, Nico was one of the most hyped young quarterbacks in the country. People were already penciling him into their early mocks for 2026, and for good reason. He's got that combination of size, arm strength, and athleticism that scouts drool over. But his 2025 season didn't go the way anyone expected. It was inconsistent, to say the least, and now he's hoping to rebuild his stock in California. Despite the struggles, the talent is still there. Nico has a cannon for an arm. He can make throws that most college quarterbacks wouldn't even attempt. He's got the height, he's got the mobility, and if he can clean up the decision-making and mechanics, he could absolutely shoot back into the first-round conversation. It's a big if, but that's what makes him such a fascinating projection for the Steelers. He's raw, but the potential is immense. Next up, Rob Rang from Fox Sports has a different name for Pittsburgh fans to consider. Rocco Becht out of Iowa State. Now, this one might catch some folks off guard because Becht doesn't have the same kind of hype machine behind him as some of the others, but make no mistake, this kid can play. Becht is expected to be one of the top returning quarterbacks in the Big 12 this year, and with good reason. He's coming off a strong season where he showed tremendous poise in the pocket and an underrated ability to escape pressure. Scouts love his toughness, his mobility inside the pocket, and how he handles himself when things break down. But, and this is a big but, his size is going to be a concern for some evaluators. He's got more of a compact frame, and without his two top wideouts from last year, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noe, it's going to be interesting to see how he performs. Both of those receivers went off the board early in this year's draft. Higgins on day one, and Noe not far behind. That's a lot of talent to lose, and it raises the question, can Becht still produce without them? If he can, and if he shows he can carry that offense by himself, don't be surprised if he starts climbing up draft boards. For the Steelers, he's a name to monitor very closely this college football season. Then we've got Ryan Wilson, also from CBS Sports, who sees Arizona State's Sam Leavitt as Pittsburgh's future quarterback. Now, this is a name that's gaining momentum fast. Leavitt led the Sun Devils to a Big 12 championship last season, and he did it with a combination of toughness, arm talent, and mobility that had a lot of scouts paying attention. What stands out about Leavitt is his ability to make plays outside of structure. He's the kind of quarterback who can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and still deliver the ball accurately downfield. But if the protection breaks down, he's just as dangerous with his legs. He's not just a scrambler, he's a playmaker. The arm strength is solid, maybe not elite, but certainly NFL caliber. Combine that with good size and a knack for making big-time throws in clutch moments, and you've got a quarterback who could rise into first-round territory with another strong year. One thing to keep in mind is that Leavitt will be without his top running back, Cam Scatterbo, this season. That's going to put more pressure on his shoulders to carry the offense, and how he handles that responsibility could make or break his draft stock. For the Steelers, he's an intriguing option. A younger guy who might need a bit more seasoning, but brings a lot of modern traits to the position. And then there's one of the most exciting quarterback names in next year's class, Drew Allar, out of Penn State. Pro Football Focus has him pegged as a Steelers pick in their latest early mock draft. And if you've seen this kid play, you know why. He's got one of the strongest arms in college football, and he's been incredibly careful with the football during his time at Penn State. His turnover-worthy play rate is an elite 1.5% for his career. Allar's game is built on power and precision. He thrives when throwing down the middle of the field, and he's more athletic than people give him credit for. But what really makes him a great fit for Pittsburgh is how well he handles bad weather. Playing in Pennsylvania, dealing with the wind, the cold, the tough conditions, he's already used to all that. That matters, especially when you consider how many games the Steelers play late in the season in less than ideal climates. He takes another big step forward this year. Let's say he wins the Heisman or even leads Penn State to a national championship. There's a real chance he ends up as the #1 overall pick. In that case, Pittsburgh probably won't even be in position to draft him. But if things break the right way and he's still on the board when the Steelers are on the clock, this might be the guy they go all in on. What makes Allar especially intriguing to head coach Mike Tomlin or whoever might be leading the team in 2026 is his combination of arm talent and ball security. That's the kind of profile Pittsburgh has valued in quarterbacks historically. Guys who can sling it but don't turn it over, and Allar fits that mold to a T. He might not be the flashiest personality or the biggest name yet, but the tools are all there. Keep your eyes on him. So Steelers Nation, with all these names floating around, from Garrett Nussmeier to Nico Iamaleava, from Rocco Becht to Sam Leavitt, and of course Drew Allar, there's no shortage of potential franchise quarterbacks in the upcoming class. And while it's way too early to lock anything in, these projections give us a glimpse at how Pittsburgh might be thinking about the future of the most important position in football. The post-Kenny Pickett era might be closer than we think, and this next college football season is going to be crucial in determining who earns the title of next quarterback of the Steelers. And now, before we get too carried away with speculation, let's not forget that a lot can change between now and April. College football is unpredictable. Quarterbacks rise and fall every season. Someone we're not even talking about today could become a top 5 pick with one breakout year. That's just how this works. But for the Steelers, this upcoming season is going to be all about evaluation. They need to figure out who fits their future, who fits the system, and most importantly, who has the makeup to lead this franchise back to championship contention. And while everyone's eyes are on quarterbacks, there's also some buzz coming out of last year's draft class that Pittsburgh fans should be excited about. Derek Harmon was selected with the 21st overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and all signs point to him being a major piece of this team's identity moving forward. The number 99 jersey is already getting a lot of love from fans, and honestly, it feels like he's got that potential to be a Steeler for life, the kind of defensive cornerstone you build around year in and year out. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the NFL, and the Pittsburgh Steelers might be gearing up for what could be the biggest signing in their franchise's history, Justin Herbert. While nothing has been confirmed, the possibility of Herbert joining the Steelers has ignited a firestorm of speculation among fans and analysts alike. Herbert, known for his incredible arm strength, poise under pressure, and impressive stats since entering the league, would be a game-changing addition for Pittsburgh. The Steelers, traditionally known for their tough defense and steady quarterback play, seem poised to shake things up by possibly pursuing one of the most exciting young quarterbacks in the NFL today. And if the rumors are true, this move could signal a dramatic shift in the team's offensive strategy and ambitions. The idea of Herbert in a black and gold uniform is tantalizing. Pittsburgh fans have long awaited a quarterback who can lead the team deep into the playoffs and potentially to a Super Bowl. Herbert's blend of youth, talent, and leadership fits the mold perfectly. Could the Steelers be ready to invest heavily in a new franchise quarterback, breaking their usual mold and making a statement in the league? Financially, landing Herbert would certainly be a bold move. The quarterback market is fierce, and securing a player of his caliber would likely require a substantial contract. This could be the largest signing in Steelers history, reflecting the team's willingness to make a big splash and pivot toward an offensive renaissance. It raises questions about how the team's salary cap will be managed and what kind of supporting cast they might assemble around Herbert to maximize his impact. Beyond the contract and cap space, the cultural fit is also a hot topic among fans and insiders. Herbert's calm demeanor and competitive nature align well with the Steelers' blue-collar ethos. Could this be the missing piece to reignite the team's championship aspirations after years of solid but not spectacular performances? The rumors, although still unconfirmed, have sparked widespread debate across sports media. Analysts are dissecting the potential impact on the Steelers' roster and divisional dynamics. Would Herbert's presence push Pittsburgh back into the AFC elite? Or is this merely a tantalizing possibility that may never come to fruition? Regardless, the mere possibility of Justin Herbert becoming a Pittsburgh Steeler has brought excitement and hope to a fan base hungry for a new era of success. Whether the Steelers will actually pull the trigger remains to be seen, but the buzz alone is already changing the conversation about the team's future. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on Pittsburgh. If the rumors solidify into reality, it might just mark the beginning of the most transformative period in Steelers history, one that could redefine the franchise and its legacy for years to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.